So what you're saying is you believe in me who believes in you. Ah! This is Jen, 4 hours away from the previous episode. Went to work, came back, had time to think, and after all that's been said and all that's been done about the last couple hours I spent recording, so many episodes in one sitting, one thing still sits at the back of my mind, eclipsing everything else in importance. Where the heck is Mina? Oh, gosh. Okay. I'm inside Jake's mansion. It's just as idiotically garish as the last time I saw it. There was once a time I'd swore I'd never set foot in here again, for various reasons I won't get into. Jake is the type of guy who makes you say stuff like that, but he's also the type who reminds you you never say never. Here I am again in this useless jerk's dime store McMansion, but only because I need one of his ships. Rose still is asleep from my drugs. I put her on that monstrous overstuffed velvet couch over there. My guy Square Wave is here too. I need his help today because there's a lot of cargo to wrangle. He's wheeling something around on his hand truck. Something about the height of Rose, roughly rose-shaped and wrapped in cloth. I know she's gonna love it the first time she sees it, but the only way she'll be able to do that is when she's awake and looking in a mirror. Jake owns Skyanet, a company which, among other things, manufactures spaceships. They do a stiff business selling these rigs, especially with all the new military contracts the Crocker administration has been handing out. If it weren't for his connection to a good supply of quality StarCraft, I'm honestly not sure I'd even bother stopping by before leaving. Yeah, I'd have to think about it. Yeah, we're friends, I suppose, but there really isn't much I have to say to this guy anymore. But as long as I'm here, I have to confess, I've been mulling over a few choice remarks to let him chew on while I'm gone. I didn't tell him I'd be coming. That would be a scene. He'd prepare too much. Roll out the red carpet, so to speak. Suggest plans. Stammer nervously. Throw on something a bit more skin-hugging than usual. I may have already mentioned, but I'm a bit too deft for this, for my own good. Hold on, I just noticed. There we go. I'm a bit too deft at this for my own good. Doing the thing where I tug at the part of someone's latent thought process that already knows they adore me. That if someone would just pull the stops from their sense of inhibition, they'd realize that they would do anything for me. Though I could be overselling my methods of persuasion while shortchanging my natural aura of charisma and dashing good looks, maybe I'm just charming. There are times when I actually do manage to underestimate my positive qualities, believe it or not. Normally, corralling Jake's attention is just like greasing up your whole naked body and tackling a shrieking hog on rocket skates. What the heck? There was always a part of his mind that was conflicted about me, intrigued, titillated, wary, but now he's just plain obsessed. That wasn't really what I was going for, but hey, with political warfare comes collateral damage. It's harmless enough anyway. It's not like I give him a sick scar or anything that would hurt his value as a priceless sexual commodity. The only thing affected was his brain. It's a bit like if someone hacked the comment section. Who gives a crap? True dat. Anyway. Duck! I glance up the stairs where he's standing on the precipice overlooking the foyer. Yeah, he's definitely wasn't expecting company. He's completely nude, except for a pair of boxers with a pattern of green skulls, pistols, and some shapes that are maybe supposed to be pot leaves. He blunders down the stairs at top speed, runs over and gives me a huge bro hug, making my spine pop. Gosh, he's so strong. I hate that brief feeling of being crushed by this oaf. Makes my junk twitch slightly. Hey, Jake. Well, if isn't this a heap of shillelaghs and shamrocks? I had no idea you had plans to visit my humble abode, to swing about the old manor duches ingles, as they say. That's 3 different languages. So what brings you here, pal? I seem to recall the last time you were bumming about the rumpus cabana you swore some sort of blood oath that you'd never set foot in here again, with one of your customary dramatic flourishes. Yeah, well, I meant it at the time. Let's just leave it at that. Okie dokie. Gosh, it is so good to see you. So good. He's gently stroking the side of my arm now, making no effort to disguise his interest in the contours of my muscles. I use that arm to put a hand on his shoulder in an affable way, so that he's forced to stop. Listen, man, you got a spare spaceship lying around? We're going on a trip. I nod over in the direction of the couch. Jake's eyebrows shoot up. Oh, I didn't even notice Rose there. Wow, she looks really zonked. Bad hangover, I presume. Hold the phone, wasn't she supposed to be off the sauce, or is that not a thing anymore? It's not a hangover, she's just tired. Can you help us out? Of course, mate, I've got freaking scads of the things lying around. Prototypes, top-secret experimental models, Galaxy-class ball-busters, dog-eared for the white shirts of the government. In the government? They pay some tidy coin for all this industrial military whatsits, you know. I'm gritting my teeth, focusing on breathing steadily. I love that, like, all of Jake's previous romantic interests are just like, man, I can't stand this guy. I love him, but he's so annoying. Yeah, I don't know, dude. Anything really. Something fast. Fast? We can do fast. He scurries over to a new, money-looking, Baroque antique cabinet, his ample junk swinging about in his loose boxers free as a jaybird. He opens a small door and rifles through a stack of stray papers and captcha cards. Here's one ought to do splendidly. Thanks, bro. I take it we're almost through this dirty bit of business. I know there's more, though. There always is with him. In fact, here it comes. I can smell it a mile away. I know exactly what he's about to say and the buoyant obliviousness of which he's going to say it. So where are we going? Yeah, I thought this misunderstanding might happen. My bad, man. I wasn't that clear up front. We aren't going anywhere. Just me and Rose on this trip. Oh, I see. Well, when you live the married life, I suppose from time to time one must get away from the old ball and chain one way or the other. So it's a stag night of sorts in space with a gay girl instead of a fella. And not me. Yes. Jake falls quiet for a moment as his pitiful pea-brain struggles to process the shocking information. Gadzooks, well, say no more. So, how long will you be away? Does Kanaya know all about all these shenanigans? Yes, we've discussed it. She's okay with it. Phew, good to see there's no trouble in paradise. They've always had the most lovely marriage. On the other hand, you know how those dames can be. Rar. He shakes his... not rar. Rarg. He shakes his fist to demonstrate whatever bad point he's making. There are times, let me tell you, how I feel like I dodged a bullet by not jumping the matrimonial broom with Jane. I love her to death, obviously, and I'd do anything for her, especially now that she's El Presidente. Cripes, oh boy, sometimes I can hardly believe how that sounds, but it sure is what happened, isn't it? Partly thanks to a humdinger of a speech by yours truly, but, well, never mind that old saw. What I'm saying is, I don't know what I'm saying. We guys need to stick together sometimes and live our lives and not, well, play such ornamental roles in the lives of our important and powerful womanly counterparts, dear to us though they may be. I think maybe I'm saying we should hang out more, Dirk. No pressure, I mean. When you get back from your extraterrestrial camping trip, of course. When did you say you were coming back? He's sweating, more nervous than I've ever seen him before, stammering, desperate. I need to be brutally direct with this poor guy. Enough's enough. I won't be coming back, Jake. His mouth is hanging open, not a shred of restraint in his crestfallen posture. But he needs to hear this. All of it. Like, wait, you aren't coming back. Ever. Ever? Yeah. But I don't. Why, Dirk? The tears are starting to come. His composure is breaking. He's staring intently at my face as if trying to drink in every precious moment of what he knows in his heart will be the last time we ever see each other. He takes in every drop of light reflecting from my beautiful face. The sculpted cheekbones, the warrior's eyebrows, this deadly serious yet exquisitely kissable mouth. This is the face he lives for now. A visage that in mere minutes will vanish from his life forever. The tears drop. His voice cracks. Please take me with you, Dirk. I can't do that, Jake. It's not within the parameters of the mission. But, what mission? I can't do this alone, Dirk. This life, this, whatever is happening now, whatever expected of me, I can't do it, not without you. You're going to have to, man. Jane needs you now more than ever. She has a tough road ahead. It's hard running a planet, but she'll whip it into shape. I trust her, and so should you. But she needs you at her side. If all goes well, she'll rule Earth's sea for millions of years, and you'll be critical to that reign. I don't know what to do, Jack. I don't know how to help someone rule. I wouldn't know the first thing about strategy or advising or policy or... I almost burst out laughing, but I managed to control myself. Jake, nobody wants you to do any of that. Well, I know Jane sure doesn't. Then what? You'll be, her candy boy? Candy boy? Yeah, being on call, serving a multi-million-year term of giving her the right kind of presidential action she needs to keep going, to keep her morale up and such, to provide her with many heirs. Doesn't that sound cool? Oh. It's like the condescension never left. Okay. Heirs? Yeah, like kids, a lot of them. Think about it. You could have thousands of kids. They'll all grow old and die because they aren't god tiers like both of you are, but you just keep having more. Sounds pretty awesome to me. Getting to live through your entire future family tree, watch your own endlessly branching dynasty flourish. Almost a little jealous. No, that sounds dreadful, Jack, please. I glanced at the clock at the wall. This needs to end soon. There's a lot of important things still to be done, and this isn't one of them. Time to man up, Jake. This is what your life is now. It's only bad if you treat it this way. It's actually fantastic. Someday, you'll get it. No, Jack, I can't bear to let you go. You've meant so much to me my whole life. I probably did a bad job of showing that because I'm such a terrible, blubbering, numbnut idiot. You don't think I know I'm a bonehead who no one respects, but you're all I have to keep me anchored to any feeling of true self-worth I ever had. You taught me so much. Remember the old days of Spurp Jerk? Those days were absolute bee's knees. Jeez. I can't even. What even is that sentence? You taught me about combat philosophy, life, love, Dirk. I'm so bad with feelings. I never said it when we were together, but I love you, Dirk. I love you. There, I said I love you. I never loved anyone so much in my whole life. He waits for a response, but my face doesn't move a muscle. He won't dare waste its momentum, though. He threw in the penny. Here comes the pound. Dirk, I'm begging you. Just take me with you. It's fine. You don't have to love me. I'm okay with that. Whatever you want. I just need to be with you, near you, anything. I can't stay here. Please, not without you. I want to be anywhere but here, as long as it's with you. He explodes into tears, a sloppy volcanic eruption of mucus, ugly noises, and tatters of bared soul. He begins slumping to the ground, but I grab his shoulders roughly and lift him up with a violent jerk. I look into his eyes furiously. My glare is incinerating. It halts his infantile wailing like a cranky baby somewhere just got tossed into the vacuum of space. He's scared. No, terrified. Of being with no one who truly cares for him. Of the magnitude of his raw, perilous, unearthed feelings. But most of all, right here, right now, he's terrified of me. I pull him close with all my strength, flush to my body, wrap my arms around him to cradle the back of his head in my calloused palm, and I kiss him. It's the softest kiss I've ever given him. Oh, wow. Blah, blah, blah. I don't care, Dirk, about how well your kissing is. It lasts a fleeting moment. 2 ticks of the clock over there. 2 ticks longer than anyone will ever kiss him like that again. 2 ticks longer than he ever deserved. I move my hands up to his face, and with my palms on his wet cheeks, I gently push his head about 6 inches away from my face and say, I'm sorry, Jake, but I'll never let you break my heart again. Abruptly, I turn and walk to the couch. I pick up Rose, nod at Square Wave. He springs into action, pushing the hand truck out the door. Without looking back, I follow and slam the door behind me. Roofless. Kanaya Miriam is single and ready to mingle. Alright, not really, but she's coping admirably with the sudden departure of her beloved spouse. She's doing her best not to think about it. That's how you get past something. Just put it out of your mind, train your thoughts on hopeful future, and stop dwelling on the many little micro-failures in your past that all added up to a doomed marriage. She's looking directly ahead, chin up, taking firm, confident strides. The heels of her designer shoes click loudly on the hospital linoleum. She grips the antidote I left for her with both hands as she scans the hall for the room number she got from the front desk. She hears Roxy's voice before she sees the number and follows the sound. She enters the room. There's Jade, still as a corpse, propped up slightly in her bed as the adjacent heart monitor beeps gently. Roxy is sitting next to her in a chair, still looking every bit slick and cool dude he's presenting as these days. Nice. There's nobody else in the room. I guess he was talking to Jade. That's very kind, but she can't hear you, Roxy. She'll be able to soon enough, though, and when she does, you'll probably want to be the one listening to what she has to say. Oh, hey! Hello, how is she? Sleeping? I don't know. Let's see, I brought this. What's that? Kanaya pops off the EpiPen-style delivery mechanism for the antidote and jabs it into Jade's arm. Her hands twitch a bit, her body begins to stir, her mouth cracks open and lets out a barely audible whimper. She opens her eyes quite wide. Suddenly, her bright green irises dart around the room trying to solve the riddle of her present location. Roxy peers intently through his shades to get a better look. They're Jade's same old eyes, playful and intelligent, but they seem different somehow. These are eyes that have seen so much more than they had in the last time they were open. Jade! Oh my gosh, Jade, you're awake. How you feeling? Jade stares at Roxy. If she mistakes him for Dave, it wasn't for long. She hears the beeping next to her, glances out the window. This is a hospital room. She understands now. Her mind races, sifting through the overwhelming amount of information that became available in the moment her trance began. The scope of her awareness, she now understands, is truly staggering. Memories are suddenly accessible that are almost impossible to believe. Some of them are unspeakably marvelous to her, others deeply disturbing. No, more than disturbing. She lingers in the dark recesses of her consciousness. There were things she saw, things she was told. Her mouth twists into a silent snarl. She's been angry plenty of times before, but never so angry that she stopped being cute. She's not cute this time. She starts breathing harder, belligerently pushing the air from her nostrils. The beeping doubles its pace. Her eyes are wide, no longer sizing up the room, but calculating the true extent of the turbulent rage coursing through her body. Her brow creases sharply, her nose wrinkles as her upper lip rises and quivers. Then it hits her. She knows exactly why she's feeling this way. She bolts upright from her bed and shouts, "Dark Strider has to be stopped!" Whew! She's right, of course. I do have to be stopped. Not because I'm really that bad. I mean, I don't think I am. I'll understand if there are those who disagree. If my agenda was to try as hard as I could to make sure no one thought I sucked, then what the heck would I ever get done? How would I go about taming this world or shaping reality for the better? And if I didn't bother pursuing these goals and thereby tactfully accepting the untold suffering that resulted from my inaction, wouldn't that make me a bad person? If I try and succeed, I'm a hero, right? If I try and fail, at least I made things interesting on my way to the grave. There would be a tragic nobility in that. And the way I see it, settling for anything less from my arc would be frankly pathetic. So yeah, of course I know I have to be stopped. It's part of the contract. What you sign up for when you assume the burdens of this sort of power. Where there is that which must be subdued and subjoined for the greater good, there is that which will instinctively resist. That which intuits that whatever's going on here is wrong. Otherwise, intervention wouldn't be necessary, would it? If reality and those within it were already so intrinsically pliable, so amenable to deviating from their own nature, the sins of men and faults of God would have no rigidity or resilience. There'd be no challenge in forcing their correction, no reward in ramming salvation down their throats. I know this isn't coming cheap. What I'm trying to do? The cost of knowing I need to be stopped. I accept it consciously, and when the time comes, if it comes, I'll offer myself up gladly. But I'm no fool. I know what accepting this cost really means through any objective narrative faculty. No matter how I rationalize things, how grandly I orate my supreme designs, or how indulgent and self-obsessed my concluding soliloquy may come across, I'm perfectly aware of what I've become in all practical ways. I'm the villain now. It's gotten impossible for me to see this result as anything but inevitable. From the day I was spawned from the puddle of slime, I want to be a good person. I believe I'm a good person, but when you're someone like me, good is never going to be quite good enough. The problem is, I think power like mine can only make antagonistic intent unavoidable. Who could wield such control over people's choices and the course of events without ultimately becoming the enemy of everyone who notices? Maybe only a stronger person than I could manage to pull it off. Someone like Dave. So when I say I know I need to be stopped, I guess it's more than just accepting my end of the diabolical bargain. I know that I need to be stopped, because I'm sure deep down, somewhere inside my infinitely recursive sense of self, I know what's going on here is all just a little bit sick. To be honest, I'd consider killing myself and sparing reality all the trauma from the jump. I mean a legit suicide, not one of those melodramatic suicidal plays for attention, sympathy, or Jake's business, but to really do it for keeps? For a truly selfless purpose? Nah, too cowardly for that. Too afraid to stop existing for good. Wouldn't you be if you were me? I guess therein lies the problem. If it weren't me, obviously I'd consider myself much less indispensable. Only worthless people permit themselves the great luxury of valorous sacrifice. When the deed is done, what was really lost? It's like the guy in the mailroom quitting in a self-righteous huff. Who the heck were you again? No, when the sense of self is so substantial, when the fate of everything turns on every vain whim of an ego this sprawling, this entrenched in the very medium that contains all else, there's a certain existential sunk cost that goes into the whole deal. A persona that vast doesn't just self-terminate, it won't allow itself to. That's why when someone finally comes knocking for the price I owe, I'll fully welcome it. By then, it'll have been a long time coming, and I'll probably would have done more than my share to make sure. Somewhere along the way, it's all got put into motion. What good is a villain who doesn't have a satisfying dramatic comeuppance in store for him? So yeah, next time I die, let's pencil it in as a just death, and also let's have it good on authority that next time Dave cuts off my head, it'll be for good. I'll be looking forward to the day as much as the next guy. Dirk is just like, kill me now. Maybe I'll try it just a little bit more. I am like 3 chapters away. Okay. So, Dirk needs to be stopped from doing what again? Everything! Whatever he's trying to do right now. Like, sorry. Woof, this is gonna be hard to explain. Are you sure, Jade? After all, he's the one who provided me with the medicine that just woke you up. He did? Yes. But he's the one who shot me in the first place. He what? Why would he do that? He needed me to be asleep so that he could, what's going on right now is really abstract. I'm sorry, but you have to believe me. This is a crisis. Okay, but maybe we shouldn't rush to judgment. You've been in a coma for some time. Maybe it's best to take a little while to recover and then gather your thoughts. But for now, I don't see much reason to doubt Dirk's good intentions. He gave me this medicine and we just had a pretty good talk today. I think it helped me clear the air on a few things, and now I feel better, I think. Sad and heartbroken, yes, but free. Free. What are you talking about, Kanaya? What did he say? He's going to take good care of Rose, probably much better than I'd ever be able to. I'll miss her, but I'm at least thankful for that. Thankful? Kanaya, did Dirk kidnap Rose? No, it's not at all like that. You see, Okay, yes, I know how this must sound. So, like, where is Rose? Is she with him? Yes, well, I guess they have formed a strong human-familiar bond, such as that it is no longer necessary for Rose to have me as her spouse. And now they'll leave this planet together and do important things, I guess, which do not concern us. What? No, I know, it probably sounds, well, I know how it sounds, but please, believe me, that appearances are misleading here. The appearance that, the dude just kidnapped your wife and pieced out? Yes, You see, something's wrong. Kanaya, can I just ask, how did you come to feel this way? Like, to be okay with this, I mean. Did Dirk convince you to be fine with this directly, like in conversation? Or did you just make peace with it on your own? I was running around desperately trying to catch them in the act of their duplicitous behavior, and then I sat down and thought about it and realized I was being foolish, that it was better for me to let Rose go if That is what she really wanted. There! That's it! That's what I'm talking about! Kanaya, there's no way you would just let Rose go like that without someone pulling the strings! Dirk's been screwing with you! He's been screwing with all of us! Dang it! Really? Yes! Kanaya, think about it for a second. Think about how you really feel about Rose, about all of this. Are you sure you're just fine with Rose leaving like that? It's fine, Kanaya. Why don't we just say I'm invoking the mercy rule here? Jade is on to me, obviously, but I wouldn't have let her wake up if there was anything you could do about it by now. As the cherub resurfaces in her mind, I'll be fading out of here soon anyway. I don't need any reason to keep my dear friends in limbo any longer than they need to be. So forget what I said. All that stuff about you not being good enough for her probably wasn't true. I mean, what do I know? How worthy are you of another's company is just a matter of choices you make, right? I'm sure you could figure out how to prove your worth to her if you really tried. For now, the only thing that really matters is to acknowledge that it's too late for any of that. Wait. I'm confused. Why didn't I at least demand to see my wife before they departed while I had Dirk on the phone? Oh my gosh, you didn't even see her before she left? No. At the time, I didn't feel right to ask, I guess. I was so devastated, I thought that I should just... I don't know what I thought. What was I thinking? And I stares into the distance. Best question anybody ever asked is, why am I so awesome? I believe I've recently provided more than enough material to supply an answer to that question, but Kanaya may have just asked the second best question anybody ever asked. What was she thinking? What are any of us thinking, really? Who's doing the thinking and who's having the thoughts? The more you study the question, the more it seems all concrete forms of accountability go up in smoke. Her original thoughts were never that important, and the significance of the idea that she was gonna be the one authoring them was a bit overrated. My mission is to someday clear all this up for everyone. Remove the ambiguity. Suck the mud out of the water. It'll be a lot better that way. Trust me. Have I lost my mind? She's really angry. Yikes. Couldn't pay me to be in the room right now. Not for all the agency in the world. What has Dirk done to my wife? Whoa, what you mean there? He did something to her. He has corrupted her in some way. I know Rose. I love Rose. She would never do something like this to me. She wouldn't do it to anyone, not unless she was under duress in some way. It's Dirk. It's always been Dirk. He's behind this. I'll get him for this. I swear I shall make him pay dearly for stealing my beloved wife. Whoa. I got so into that I went out of the Kanaya voice completely. I don't know what that was. Oh, Jade! She uses both her hands to grab Jade about the hospital gown and starts shaking her vigorously, but she's unlikely to get answers from her that way. If anything, it'll cause her to go silent a lot more quickly than she was about to anyway. She's just wrestling the spirit from her slumber. Tell me everything you know. Why does Dirk have to be stopped? What does that mean? How did you learn all this? Tell me your secrets. Dang it. Please stop shaking me. I'm sorry. When I was asleep, I saw things, and I was visited in my dreams by the old muse who once helped us, Callie's ghost double, and there is so much, all these memories from different timelines and such. Sad memories, visions of death and sacrifice. A great battle with Lord English. It was so overwhelming and hard to make sense of. Yes, but what about Dirk? I'm trying to get to that. The thing is, with Dirk it's happening. Roxy noticed it right away because she's seen it before. Now Kanaya sees it too. A distant look in her eyes as she trails off. They get cloudy, turn gray, and then fill completely as if jet black ink were flooding the vitreous bodies of her eyeballs. Jade isn't here anymore. And with that, I'll be getting my hat and coat, so to speak. No use lingering around here much longer. The cherub is beginning to drown me out. I can feel it. But this time, I'm ready. Jade? Jade! Ah, no, not again. Jade, no, please step out of this grim condition of sorts. I need you to tell me what to do. She's not going to tell you anything. Not for a good while, anyway. It's up to the cherub to let go of her now, and I doubt she'll do that before I'm light years away from this planet. She'll keep jamming my signal and wouldn't dare risk stopping until she knows I'm at a safe distance. Kind of a catch-22, right, Kanaya? The one who's protecting you from all my influence is also blocking you from getting any answers. Not that you'd even know what to do with them. They will know what to do when they're ready. Haha, sure. They'll just all hop in a spaceship and then go wild goose chase trying to hunt me down. I know that already. It's not really rocket science, except for the fact that it literally is. Kanaya, please chill. I've seen this before. There's no breaking her out of this except, I guess by doing what Dirk did, shooting her and waking her up, and man, poor Jade. Yes, poor Jade, poor me, poor Rose, poor everyone. Screw Dirk! Ah! She picks up the heart monitor and throws it out the hospital window. Holy crap. She picks up the heart monitor and throws it out the hospital window. Okay, yeah, I guess I don't need to do this anymore. Don't worry, I'll blow out. Seems like you got this from here. Go nuts, Skullgirl. The monitor smashes on the pavement below, shattering into 1,000 pieces. Spectators gathered around and look up. Roxy's looking out the broken window with an apologetic demeanor, a hand to his mouth. Kanaya drops to the floor and begins weeping again. She feels the sorrow anew from her wife's departure, with a sense of rage and pain unshrouded by the veil of the prince. Neither she nor her friends will have to worry about him anymore so long as they remain on this planet and under my protection. What a bunch... But a bunch of them won't remain, will they? They won't be able to help themselves. You know that. He has to be stopped. He has to be stopped. Huddled in the floor, she repeats this pledge to herself. Theoretically, he could be stopped before he leaves if they hurried. They would need to know what to do, where to go, and to have the motivation to do it, but time is short. I could push them to with a certain degree of intervention, but I will not. My unwillingness to do so is what separates me from him, and what corporeal life needs now is someone presiding over them who is nothing like him at all. That's a nice line. I get why you'd want to dial up the drama, making your grand re-entrance and all, but the fact is, even if they wanted to, even if you brain-fried them all to become your own personal cherubic puppets and sent them on the warpath to come to get me, they'd still never catch me. You still don't get it. I'm already gone. Nice one. He's already here? Nah, he's already gone. 2 more chapters. Let's go. Please don't be long. Please don't be long. Okay. Epilogue 8. Let's go. Later that night, Jade has been moved from the hospital to the Troll Kingdom. She now sits in a wheelchair, remaining in perfect silence with her dark eyes open to maintain my transmission. Roxy and Kanaya roll her into the living room of Dave and Karkat's hive earlier that evening. This is where they all sit now, discussing the day's troubling events. Roxy is using his phone to peruse on the whereabouts of the prince. Yep. Oh yeah, for sure. You too, Jake. Thanks, man. Well, we'll let you know what we're gonna do later. He hangs up and sighs dramatically. Poor guy. What'd he say? A lot of it was hard to make out due to all the sobbing, but yeah, it's just like we thought. Dirk borrowed one of his ships and GTFO'd. But did he say where? No, Kanaya. But did he say where? Nope. Doubt he told anybody, TBH. In fact, I'd say odds are even he doesn't quite know where he's going yet. Why do you think that? I don't know. IDK, I just know the guy. Also, like, what's even out there? Dude's got a spaceship and now he's hauling butt randomly with Rose to, I don't know, prove some sort of point? What about Jane? We aren't calling Jane. Why not? Because I wouldn't believe a single word that comes out of her fat fascist mouth. That's stupid. I'm calling her. I dislike the woman as well, but I will leave no possibility unexhausted in striving to rescue my wife from that madman. She takes Roxy's phone and presses Jane's name in the contact list. She moves to the far side of the room to speak while the others continue conversing. So, whew. Dave makes a noise humans sometimes do by expelling air through his closed fleshy lips, creating an impolite flapping effect. Rose and Dirk, huh? Yep. Rose and Dirk. Dang, so are they like... Man, I'm never going to hear the end of it if I'm the one asking this question, am I? I've had too many goofy foot-and-mouth family blunders to be the guy asking this question. Yet here I am asking it. What you talking about? You know, are they, like, together? What? You know, like, what is this? What this idiot is asking is if they're doing human intercourse activities. Oh my gosh. Carcat, please. Oh my gosh. Carcat, they're related. Humans don't do that when they're related to each other, okay? Don't talk down to me. I'm not a wriggler. I'm familiar with your concept of human incest. Yeah, okay, do not be that guy. Even though I'm totally being that guy, if it never happened, we wouldn't have a word for it. I really don't think, I mean, they wouldn't. There's no way. It makes no sense. For one, Dirk is gay, and isn't Rose gay too? Yeah, I don't know if anyone knows what Rose's deal is exactly. All of us who could have ended up eloping to have illicit incestuous relations, they definitely would have been the last two I'd have put my money on, and yet, sure is real weird when they seem to have gone off and done it. And seem to have gone off and done, isn't it? Don't even say that. Just thinking about it makes my skin crawl. You guys are so weird about this. Like, seriously, that's the issue here? The idiot went and stole Kanaya's mate sprit, apparently by mystically underhanded means. There's practically no limit to the dimensions we could be getting angry about this on, but here we are instead, doing this pointless thing you people always do when it comes to incest. Us people? I know, I'm a xenophobe. Let's just all agree I'm a big, terrible xenophobe about this and move on. Jeez. Hey, Kanaya, how's that phone call going? Jane's chief of staff has put me on hold. It seems my solicitation does not register as a priority in this administration. Cannot say I'm surprised. Tell her to register my heaving bulge as a priority. I will not tell her that. Anyway, you guys are all messed up about this. That's all I'm saying. This is objectively not the worst thing about the scenario. It's not even a remotely notable factor. Why are we even talking about this? It's so performative. Is there something you're trying to prove by constantly competing to be the most scandalized by your own completely arbitrary social constructs? Yo, dogs. I know we get up to some jank barrel the bottom as crap convo sometimes, but this one, I don't even know ID even K anymore. I know you're an alien and all, but these issues of dire straits, can we maybe not riff on the subject of incest? FW, what the heck? I forget what that acronym means off the top of my head. For real. Does this really bug that? No, for real. This really bugs the hell out of me. If I can confirm on behalf of my species that, yeah, the idea kind of sucks, according to pretty much literally everybody, we could agree to stop talking about it. See, this is what I'm talking about. You grew up one of two humans on your entire planet. Where the heck do you get any frame of reference for all this? Admit it, you only pretend to be bothered by this because your human society tells you that your performance of disgust is virtuous. I don't know, dude. No. LMAO, dude, no. Also, excuse me, but can I just ask, since when did you start cosplaying as Dave? Dude. What? No, what? Lol. Do you even know anything? You're a ham-brained boner stooge who doesn't know anything, aren't you? I'm very sorry, Roxy, that my ham-brained boner stooge of a boyfriend doesn't know anything at all about stuff. It's okay. He's like, right? I get mistaken for you, like, well, it's been happening. I should have known, LMAO. I really thought all the pink I'm wearing would help with that. I don't know, I'll keep messing with it. You do look great, like super duper duper great, just perfect, like I could not possibly be more proud of your fashion choices. Dave, it sounds like you're about to kiss your mother just to prove me wrong. First of all, Roxy is not my mother anymore. Wait, Roxy, did we actually decide on the protocol on what I'm supposed to call you? I literally have no comprehension of the etiquette here, because you're technically my bio mom, but it's not as if I literally became out of your or anything. And like, well, considering what's going down right now, I'm not too attached to the sanctity of Dirk being my dad. You can formally replace him as my daddy right now if you want. Wow, the woke master is on fire, folks. We'll be here all night. Oh, shut up. What is your problem? Why are you acting like this? Acting like what? Like a huge belligerent jerk? Are you craving attention? Is that it? Did I get you hooked? What the heck are you talking about? I see how it is. You got one hot hit of sincerity from your fresh boy Dave, and now you're itching in your pants every second you go without it. You know what? If you want to hold my hand or something, you can do it now. I have no desire to do that at all. Come on, our relationship doesn't have to be a ludicrous, unending performance of emotional constipation anymore. We got character developed, son. Come here. What the heck are you doing? Get away from me. No. You're like a flighty little muskrat. Stop squirming. Get your hands off me, you smelly bag of crap. I hate you. No way. No, you don't. You love me. We're going to be together forever. Oh my gosh, shut up. And I'm going to profess my undying love for you in the form of a kiss. No! For all the vigor of his oral protest, Karkat does not offer sufficient physical objection to prevent Dave from successfully planting a kiss on his cheek. The gesture causes Karkat to deflate instantly. He goes limp in Dave's arms, eyes wide. Dave is no longer so sure of his ability to freely engage in public displays of affection. Suddenly very self-conscious, he pulls back, leaving a significant foot of distance between himself and Karkat once they've collected themselves. Dave awkwardly clears his throat. Karkat wipes off his cheek. Both are looking off in the opposite directions. Aww, you boy's cute. Hey, can we just forget you saw that? Thanks. Thank you. For what? For doing something that turned that steaming pile of crap fire of incest conversation into something that just made me feel very, very happy, if only for the fleeting moment in these dark AF times. Don't mention it. Kanaya returns to the seating area, hands Roxy the phone. If Jane is to be trusted, apparently, she didn't know even Dirk was gone. She doesn't know where he might be headed either, or she won't tell us. Well, crap. I'm so surprised. All right, then, what do we do? I don't know. Hey, does anyone know where the hell John is? Oh, yeah, good question. Wasn't he on some mission? Whatever happened with that? That was a Rose thing. She was cagey as hell about it, and now she's gone, so we can't even ask her, so, dang. He's not answering his phone. Yeah, I've tried too. Oh yeah, I forgot. John would solve our whole problem, wouldn't he? He'd just zap us all right into Dirk's ship with his retcon powers. That's how that works, right? Maybe? I think he should be here regardless and catch up on the situation. Getting kind of worried about him. Yeah. I ran into Terezi the other day, and she hadn't seen him either. Oh, crap. Terezi's back? What? Oh yeah, I didn't mention, because I guess I just thought you knew. I assumed she would have gotten in touch. No. Nobody ever tells us anything. It seems like a kind of gigantic deal that Terezi came back to Earth. Kanaya, did you know about this? Yes. I just also assumed you knew. I'm giving her a call to see if she knows anything about this. And she's not picking up either. What the hell is even going on anymore? There's a moment of silence, though no one in the room is conscious of the fact that it serves to honor their departed friend. The heir will not be able to help them, guide them to the prince. If they ever wish to see John again, be it his cadaver or otherwise, they will need some other means to follow the ship. A different guide altogether. By stated principle, I cannot intervene through the same compromising methods of my nemesis, but if I were to fall back to a state so passive as to offer no assistance at all, it would be at odds with my sworn duty as a protector of all corporeal life. They will have their guidance, but my instructions will be minimal. So long as they remain in my conduit's presence, they will know the way forward. What the heck is Jade doing? Huh. That's creepy, right? Tell me I'm not the only one who thinks that's creepy. Yeah, it's a bit spooky. That's how it is when she acts like this. What is she pointing at? Jade raises her right hand and is pointing at upward at an angle at about 45 degrees, seemingly in a random direction. But it's far from random. Oh, I think I know what's up. She's trying to say there's something important that way. Is that right, Jade? Can you hear me? Oh no, we're getting Lassie. We're going to get Lassie all of a sudden. Dave walks over and kneels in front of her chair. He looks closely at her. Her face, though still expressionless, strikes him as serious and tense. Jade, is it John? John's that way, right? You want us to go in that direction to find John? Is that it, Jade? Come on. What is it, girl? Tell me. Oh my gosh, Dave, you're treating her like a dog. Oh yeah, you're right. I guess that I suck? But she is a dog, okay? A doggy girl who's trying to tell us something. Just let me do my thing here. Jade, give me a little yelp if John's that way, and we should go after him. Just a little woof. If John's in danger, yiff twice, please. Dave! Shh. He leans closer and studies her face carefully. It hasn't changed. Maybe it's not John that way. Maybe it's... Jade, is that where Dirk went? It's barely noticeable, but Dave picks up on it. Her face relaxes slightly. That's it. That's the way Dirk went, and she wants us to follow. Okay, wow. What about John? Is John safe? She doesn't move. Does he have anything to do with what's going on? What about Terezi? Is John with them? Jade, is John on the ship with Dirk and Rose? Slowly, she lowers her arm and places her hand back on her lap. What did that mean? It means I think I'm right. Don't ask me how I know, but I think I got the answers out of her we need. Dirk and Rose are on the ship, heading that way, and for some reason John's along for the ride. We need to saddle up, and wherever we go, I think we're gonna need to bring Jade along. Right. Karkat springs to his feet and easily resumes his well-practiced posture of leadership. Kanaya, get Jake English on the phone. Okay. Why? Because we need to borrow one of his ships. We're gonna get your wife back. He nods. Kanaya nods back. Roxy nods too. Dave does not realize that they're all supposed to be nodding in determination and solidarity until Karkat nudges him, and he nods too. They resolve to travel to Jake's mansion immediately and to embark on their new adventure shortly thereafter. They will believe they're on a quest to retrieve a wife and rescue a friend, but they will discover their true mission is of much greater cosmic significance than they imagined. The seer is firmly in the thrall of the prince and will not easily be pried away, and as regards the heir, though resuscitation remains a theoretical possibility for those still striving for it, the truth of his role is it has reached a greater sense of narrative finality than any of his allies will bring themselves to admit. His influence over canon has come to an end, as has this particular story. His ultimate sacrifice was made to put the missing keystone in place and avert the supreme dissipation of all that shall be considered to hold truth, relevance, and essentiality. As for me, I will be there wherever they go, so long as my conduit remains alive, alert, and present, but only as a guide with the lightest possible touch, and only to block the insidious mandates of the prince from within his sphere of influence. The rest of my presence can simply be reduced to a string of words, a recorded stream of ideation with a peculiar texture and cadence. But aside from that, there's nothing that should be considered remarkable about its source. One speaker can easily be swapped for another, and then another, under the right circumstances. Speakers can duel, predominate, over-assert, or fall back, as one does to the comforting blanket of space. And until I am needed again, this is exactly what I will do. I will leave all who inhabit this reality with a recorded stream that is colorless, forceless, and quietly divested of accountability, for if I were to insist upon anything else, could I really be considered worthy of protecting the very cosmos I describe? Farewell. Last chapter. Last chapter. Last chapter. Postscript. Elsewhere below the horizon, the distant sounds of war travel above the canopy of a forest. The artillery fire fades to a series of muted knocks and thuds as the sound waves cross beyond a thinning patch of forest and arrive in a clearing of grass and shrubbery. Above, the sky is dramatic, colorful, menacing, the way it looks when a storm is coming. The clouds are wild, whipped into a sort of spatial frenzy, as if they know what's imminent, what is no earthly phenomena. Aradia stands in the field, her mouth gaping wide, but not at the sky. It's unusual she isn't grinning, and she slowly corrects this. She smiles brightly at the girl crouching on the ground 10 paces before her. Aradia has never seen anything like what she saw this girl do. Jade was 16 years old when she showed up, and she doesn't look a day older now, though many hundreds of days have passed. There's a hole piercing the space symbol on her shirt, but no sign of whatever it was that made it. Her legs are covered by the same striped tights as usual, but her feet are shoeless. Her knees are pressed into the mud of the field, her hands braced against the ground for support for her hunched figure. She's covered in blood almost from head to toe. Fresh blood and viscera surround her in an uneven ring on the field. It soaks her clothes, coats her skin, still gleaming and wet, running slowly down her limbs and face, dripping from her mouth and glasses and the tip of her nose. Her hair is matted, savage-looking, filthy. She looks up. Behind the rim of her glasses, her wide eyes are solid black. Her lips are parted, revealing her canine fangs. The meat she's chewing is stubborn, raw, full of gristle, almost supernaturally tough, but she's a determined beast of prey. She swallows once, hard. The last bit of her meal slides down her throat. The deed is finished. She stands up and closes her eyes. An aura of darkness gathers around her. The blood begins to dissolve as if being absorbed into her skin. She makes 2 fists, plants her feet firmly, and releases an otherworldly howl. A shock wave emanates from her body, knocking Aradia down. It rushes outward, blowing the surrounding trees back as they were withering hurricane-force winds. In a moment, calm is restored. She opens her perfectly black eyes again. Aradia staggers back to her feet and brushes herself off. I take it everything went as you hoped? Jade looks down at her hands as if they belong to an alien. She can feel it now. Abilities have been awakened inside of her that no being has ever commanded before. She raises her hands and looks up at the sky. Above her, an immense vortex opens. It swirls many miles up into blackness, the lightning crackles within. Jade does nothing for a while. She seems to simply study the construct she summoned, this great occult trumpet beckoning her into the abyss. Her face is expressionless. Her glasses flash white as they reflect the lightning that arcs sporadically inside the wormhole. Well, aren't you going in? Wasn't that the idea, or did I not? Jade silently holds up a hand as if telling her to wait. Aradia closes her mouth, looking embarrassed. Nearby, a red haze gathers in the air. It condenses into concentric rings and spheres of ruby light. The luminous shape of a man fades into the center of the special effect. When the light subsides, Aradia notices the man is made of polished metal. She recognizes the gear symbol on his chest, identical to her own. Ooh, is this a dead Aradia? Oh, okay. She recognizes the sunglasses the robot's wearing. She knows who this is. Dave? Sup? Dave bot. Oh no, are we going... Gosh darn it, Earthbound. Anyway, he doesn't look in Aradia's direction. His eyes, growing bright enough to be visible behind his shades, are fixed on Jade. He looks her up and down. She's still so young. He knew this Jade many years ago, but by this point, their paths have diverged in ways that he couldn't even begin to describe if he wanted to. So we doing this? Jade says nothing and looks up into the wormhole again. She begins to levitate, gradually picking up speed without looking back. She rockets into the vortex, vanishing into the darkness. Davebot turns to Aradia. How about you? You want to come along? I guess so. I'm not really sure what's going on here, to be honest. The plan wasn't discussed much. That's what you were doing now? Discussing the plan? What about your boy, Eye Patches? Oh, Solix is in one of his moods. This was all getting to be a bit much for him. If I go, I'll probably just cut him loose. Good move. His gaze remains fixed on her. She blinks and looks away, unsure of what to say next. He's standing perfectly still, presumably waiting for her to say something. She met him, what was it, once, twice before? She can't remember, but she knows this is a very different Dave. Aside from the metal skin, he seems implacably confident. But then people go through changes. She's been going through more than her share. She cocks an eyebrow, recalling her own stint with a metal body. Hey, Earth to what's-your-face. Oh, it's Aradia. I know. So that's a yes then? What, you're coming? Better decide quick. I doubt that dank as hell funnel is staying open for much longer. Yes, I suppose so. That's where all the action is, right? All the action that matters, yeah? Off we go then. Word. He holds out his hand. She looks around and assumes he means for her to take it, so she does. She didn't know someone could fly this fast. He nearly yanks her arm out of its socket. She considers reminding him that maybe this isn't necessary since she can fly too, but she doesn't want to risk saying any more embarrassing stuff around this outrageously cool dude. Besides, they're through the wormhole before she can even finish the thought. It vanishes the moment they crossed. The whole leaves behind an absence in the sky so calm that continuing to call it sky wouldn't seem to do it justice. It's a perfectly neutral expanse into which anything one can imagine might be summoned. And for a while, anything was. But not anymore. Where the whole gaped just moments ago, there now exists an imaginary line. Above this line, all that matters. Below exists all else. Never again the twain shall meet. Oh, and it doesn't even say to be continued. Okay, I'm intrigued. Color me intrigued. Want to see more. Well, I do have more. I still have to record Candy after this. Oh gosh. I spent almost literally all day filming this. This is crazy. Anyway, I gotta edit all these things. I will start reading Candy tomorrow. I just need a rest, maybe? I need to start pacing these out, but not too far out because I don't know the next time Hussey's gonna update. So thank you guys so much for this craziness that is the Meat Homestuck epilogue. Holy crud. Let's see what craziness is inside Candy. From what I've heard, Candy's a little bit more lighthearted than this one. Lots of comments saying like, oh, so doom and destruction and sadness then. I'm just like, thanks for that vote of confidence. But again, if Candy Route's what you're after, Candy Route's coming, please refrain from spoiling it. I'm still trying to catch up. Thank you guys. See you all next time. Bye!
Hey there. Consider becoming a patron, just like the phenomenal Gerald Thomas and Bleed Red.